Evangelical Christianity is a cancer. These are the worst of our country. These are the worst people in our country because they use their religion in two ways, as a weapon and as a shield. They weaponize it whenever they want to and say, we're on the moral high ground. You're a lesbian. You deserve to die. You're a lesbian. The cops shouldn't have revived you. Oh, your parents are Mexicans and they brought you over here. Yeah, you should go to jail and eat worm food. And then when you call them out on it, oh my God, they're after the Christians. How dare they? How dare they? We're so oppressed. White Christians are so oppressed in this country. And they want it both ways because in the religion, that duplicity is taught. You can be morally duplicitous. You thrive in cognitive dissonance. And so this is just a massive, massive problem. And it should come as no surprise to anyone that of this cult that I'm talking about, white evangelicals, I think over 80% went and voted triple trumped.
So she's talking about me and probably many of you. I am a white evangelical Christian. I did not triple Trump. I couldn't triple Trump. I would have triple trumped. I think we should put that on a shirt. It sounds like an Olympic sport, the triple Trump. Nonetheless, as a white evangelical Christian myself, I have never heard a single person, never mind another white evangelical Christian, say, your parents are Mexican, you should go to jail and eat worm food. I've never heard that come from a Christian's mouth. I would love one verifiable source, Jennifer. Like, show me one white Christian saying you're a lesbian, cops shouldn't have revived you. And newsflash, if they call themselves a Christian and they're saying that, they're likely not a Christian, or at least we're not reading from the same Bible. And to that point, like, I'm sure there are plenty of atheists or people who are agnostic who support the actions of ICE. She's conflating Christianity with law and order, with like morality, and she's acting as if Christian persecution is not a thing. It is a thing, domestically and globally. Right? What happened in Minneapolis, for crying out loud, at City's Church? We talked about this on the episode with Michelle Tafoya. This was a church that was invaded because it was a church, right? They would have called this a hate crime if people rushed in to a mosque where Muslims were gathered, or to a synagogue or a Hindu temple. But no, this happened to white evangelical Christians. So it's a heroic act of journalism on behalf of Don Lemon, who is protected by the First Amendment. Or what about the Covenant shooting in Nashville? Have we forgotten that so quickly? This was a woman who identified as a man, so someone who identified as trans, who specifically targeted white Christian children. 3 9-year-old kids died, and Jennifer and her entirely irrelevant co-host would be in the streets rioting if 3 9-year-old children were shot and killed solely for being in the country illegally. But she's not sad about the kids who lost their lives at the Covenant School because they and their families are a cancer to society. What about Nigeria? This is what Nicki Minaj has used her platform to speak up so eloquently about before the UN even. Last week, we saw Islamic extremists who abducted 174 Nigerian Christians while they were worshiping in church this last week. They raided the church. They blocked the exits. I think only 9 people escaped. Reportedly, over 125,000 Christians have died, were murdered, not died. They were murdered since 2009 in Nigeria. That sounds a lot like Christian persecution to me, Jennifer Welch. Iran. Does she know how dangerous it is to be a Christian in countries like North Korea, Somalia, Yemen, Sudan? These are the kind of women, Jennifer Welch and her co-host, I don't know the co-host's name, who would have like the coexist sticker on their bumper plate. But in reality, they don't want to coexist at all. She just called people like myself, again, probably many of you, cancers to society, the worst cancers to society. And like I said, the co-host, like, I have seen so many of Jennifer Welch's incredibly stupid takes going viral online. Again, most of the time for how retarded these takes are. And it's the same split screen format where you have Jennifer Welch on the left side of the screen and you've got the other woman on the right side of the screen, and she's wearing these like ridiculous fruit fly looking glasses. And I have never heard her say a word ever. I think this show, this podcast, is really just Jennifer Welch like talking to herself with the other woman, homegirl on the right, just kind of like nodding along, I guess, in agreement. I wonder if they ever sit back and like realize how insane and destructive and politically charged they sound. Maybe that's like the plot, just to be so utterly wrong and have these stupidest takes strictly for like virality purposes. I don't know. It's kind of like watching a humiliation ritual at this point.